Magalan, home to a civilization of millions.
If you've ever been on a date with someone who seems really interesting and pleasant at first, but then goes on tirades about lizard people or how the Illuminati faked the moon landing, you have some understanding of my love-hate relationship with ELEX. It's a sprawling, ambitious Euro-style RPG in the tradition of series like The Witcher and Gothic, and there's plenty to admire peppered across its more than 50 hours of adventuring. But while it spends about half its time making me want to sing its praises, it spends the other half making me want to pull every single hair out of my scalp. The seamless open world is built on a strong foundation of detailed lore that feels unlike anything the genre has thrown at us before. There are dazzling sci-fi elements like super soldiers and radioactive mutants, but also a clan of woodsy wizards who shun all technology. There are exciting influences from Fallout and Mad Max, with sand-blown post-apocalyptic ruins and gangs of mercenaries in biker leathers, but also a medievalish religious order that worships the god of machines. Somehow, it all fits together in a way that feels interconnected and believable. The sheer uniqueness always left me wanting to dig deeper and learn more. The story is definitely the strongest pillar holding up ELEX. The twists are unexpected and memorable, the characters are endearing with multi-layered and believable backstories. There are enough potential variations in the ending that I almost wanted to play it again to see more of them. And it's all accompanied by almost shockingly high-quality voice acting.
Is this just the two of us?
Does that scare you?
Alas, it falls apart rapidly upon first combat encounter. For one thing, it's buggy to the point that I almost wasn't able to finish it. Broken event triggers, horrible party member AI, and missing or misplaced map markers that make quest targets impossible to find call to mind the worst of Fallout New Vegas or Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on their releases. Maybe they'll fix it in a few months, but at the moment I just can't recommend anyone spend money on the technical disaster area that is ELEX. Even when everything is working as intended, the combat balance often feels absurd. Games like Dark Souls are punishing, but never feel unfair. Certain quests in ELEX made me feel like I had to break its systems to win. Some required me to snipe a couple enemies from a large group at a distance, run several hundred yards to a shack with a bed, take a quick nap to regain my health and mana, and return to repeat this process 4 or 5 times. One boss took me almost 2 hours to slay because I had to get lucky and not trigger his unblockable, nearly undodgeable rock throw attack too many times. The hitboxes and animation timings are imprecise and irritating, especially on area attacks. Enemy damage scales way too quickly in comparison to yours throughout the middle levels. Too often, I felt that I was fighting poor design choices rather than monsters. The designers seem stubbornly phobic of many quality-of-life features that became standard in the genre for a reason, like not having to rely on the potion economy to sustain your questing. All of this represents only a small fraction of the issues I ran into. The best-case scenario for ELEX is that it'll be worth picking up on a sale a year or two from now, after it's been heavily patched to fix its rampant bugs and infuriating balance problems. It has enough good ideas that one day it might be talked about as one of those hidden RPG treasures that people play and wonder why it wasn't as successful on launch. But the frothy mix of joy and frustration that ELEX presents today skews too heavily toward the latter. I wish it well, but I don't think I'll be calling it up for a second date.
No, I'm not good enough for that.
For some far better RPGs, check out our reviews of Divinity Original Sin 2, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and Pyre.